Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on Tract A, Orchard Point. This is a 50-acre tract, 50 acres even, and there's also a half-acre river lot that's going to convey with this place, but I'll get to that here a little bit later. But I'm kind of standing on the far, I guess, kind of north end of the front of the property. And if you see the electric pole out there, that's out there at the road. And this little field here that I'm in, it's probably, I don't know, maybe 4 acres, 4 or 5 acres or so here. At one time, you know, they cut hay out of this field. It's just a nice pasture in here. And then over on the other side of those woods, there's several old peach trees and apple trees kind of over on that side, and it's semi-cleared. But I'll take multiple videos here, but you know, you could, I mean, the property has numerous building sites on it. You know, if you were right here, you got a nice view of White Horse Mountain, look kind of back to the northwest there, or whatever. I'm all the way over on the far boundary line here. You can see like the little white posts there or whatever. And you know, the neighbor over here on this side is this old growed up orchard. And as I'm panning around here, you'll see, if you like to hunt, it doesn't get much better than this. You're surrounded. This property over here recently sold, and that gentleman's planted corn. I mean, so everything you see out through there that's bare has been planted in corn or beans, one of the two. So it's a great hunting property. There's a never-ending food source here. So like I said, I'll take multiple videos here. Keenan Shanholtz here again on Tract A in Orchard Point. And I'm kind of over, I started out over there in the more open field. And now I'm kind of towards the back of the, you know, kind of like the first field that you come to. And you can see there's a little, let me zoom here. The owner has a little shed there on the property. It has an old vehicle he needs to get out of here. But, and the property goes on the other side of this little ditch here a little bit, over there about where you can see the brown grass, about to the end of that. And you know, there's several old apple trees up over in that direction, and in the front here, over here, you got a bunch of old peach trees and stuff that'll still produce. But this is kind of like how the path comes back in here. I'm standing on the back of the truck right now, but the little path weaves down through here, and there's an old road that goes back in the woods and takes you to a clearing back there in the back where there used to be an old homestead called the Gano House back there. You know, there's roughly about, you know, the front half of this, and if you look at the plat, this used to be a 30-acre tract and they added 20 acres to it. But the front 20 acres is kind of out here where I'm at. It's, you know, I mean, some of it's open. I'd say you probably got, I don't know, 8 or 9 acres of cleared ground here, and then there's this little wooded hollow that lays in between this field and the other field. But Orchard Point is kind of like it's not really development because there's no HOA or anything, and there's no restrictions on this tract. This land's unrestricted here, except that you can't have any commercial poultry or swine operations. So you couldn't put poultry houses back here commercially, or commercial hog raising facility, or whatever. But other than that, it's unrestricted. So I'll get back in here and take another shot. I'll walk down in the woods here. So Keenan Shanholtz here again on A, Orchard Point. I'm just now kind of entering the woods. You can see where my truck's parked there at the end of the little field, and I'm on this road right now. I could probably take my truck all the way back here to the Gano House or whatever, but I don't know if there's anything across the road or not, so I'm just walking. But one thing I did want to point out about this property is that you're going to see this pipe. This is like a 6-inch steel pipe that runs kind of long ways through the property. And what this was, I mean, you know, the ground that this was part of was an operating orchard, you know, back in the 60s and 70s. And this steel pipe actually used to go all the way down to the south branch of the Potomac River, which is directly this way. And they had a pump big enough to pump water out of the river up here to irrigate the orchards and stuff. So you're going to see this pipe, you know, at different places through the property. I mean, that's heavy duty stuff. I'd hate to say what that cost back in the day when they did that, and much less what it would cost now to run that much steel pipe. But check out the woods back here. The woods are really nice. You know, and you could get back in here and build, you know, if you want a little bit more privacy to be back in the woods. But you'll just kind of see here how this old road runs around here. And I'll pick this up back here when I get back to the little clearing back here. But like I said, the ground lays really nice. You know, I mean, you can just check it out there and see how good it lays. Keenan Shanholtz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on Tract A at Orchard Point. And what I want to point out here, I've walked this road down through the woods, and I easily could have got the truck back here. There really wasn't anything in the road or anything. But this little clearing back here, and you'll see this on the aerial, this is what's called, they called this the Gano house. There was an old house back here at one time. You might still see remnants of it somewhere. But if you really wanted, you know, kind of like the ultimate privacy and a really good building site that probably offered the best views, this would probably be the place back here. Of course, you just have to get, you know, improve the road that's here to get back here, you know, and pull the electric down here. Which that's really just kind of a straight shot, you know, from up through there to get electric back into here. You could pull it overhead back through the field and just bury it through the woods. That'd be more cost effective. But I'm kind of all the way over to the right-hand side of the property right now. So the property line is just kind of just right in here to my, you know, right straight down over the hill here a little bit, not very far. That hollow there's on the next property. You know, and that's, those folks have had that for a while, sold that to them years ago. They got about 40 acres, I want to say, and a little cabin over there, you know, on the other ridge. But complete privacy back here. I'm pretty familiar with this property. I've sold it 3 times. I think from 2008 to 2013, I had sold it 3 times, and the current owner's had it since 2013. He's held on to it. But man, I mean, you know, to find 50 acres that's pretty much unrestricted with the exception of the no chicken houses or hog houses, it's pretty hard to do these days. And like I said, this ground's very user friendly. It's easy to get around on an ATV. It's pretty much mostly all usable. It gets steep back in that corner there a little bit, but you know, and of course it had the fields out front. If you wanted to have a garden, if you wanted to have your own orchard, you could reclaim the apple and peach trees that are out there now, plant some of your own, have a garden, you know, do food plots. You got acres and acres of corn and beans there, you know, adjacent to you, so you know the game's here. I mean, I took pictures of a couple huge buck rubs, and there's all kinds of turkey scratching back in here. I mean, this is literally just a wildlife thoroughfare, so if you like to hunt, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better spot than this, but this is a good one. And then I'll take a video down there at the little river lot that goes with this, and actually where that is, you know, as the crow flies, would be over that ridge in that direction. You know, as the crow flies, it's probably 4 or 5 miles to the river lot. It takes about 15 minutes to get there from here. But the owner just picked up that river lot, and it's just a place on the river. That's all it is. It has very little, you know, ground with it that you can use. But it's just a nice added bonus to this if you want to go down and have a place to have a picnic or park or fish or whatever. You know, it's about a 15-minute drive from here, and it conveys with the sale. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. Just wanted to get a video down here on the half-acre river lot that goes with Tract A, Orchard Point, the 50 acres. But this is just kind of a unique little add-on here that comes with the property. But so here's the south branch of the Potomac River. And the river's obviously up right now. We've had a couple inches of rain here this week. But the river is deep right here, and it's a great fishing spot right through here. But as you'll see Campbell Road right here. So you got about enough space here with this thing to, you know, get a vehicle off the road, maybe have a little spot for a tent, a picnic table, something like that, just to kind of come out and enjoy the river. And it actually has like 475 feet of road frontage and 475 foot of river frontage if you read the description. Now, most of it's out in the river, but it actually goes up beyond the guardrail there. And if my memory serves me right, there's a hollow that comes down there, and it, you know, like, so in other words, if you go over the guardrail, there's some riverbank down there that's easy enough to get on to fish and that sort of thing, like where the drop-off's not so steep as it is right here. But, you know, the description calls for like a concrete marker here along the road. But I'm going to say it's either that old fence post right there, we'll just go off of that to be safe. And there's this wooden post that's set right here. And you can see where the neighbor here has a similar situation. And I guess maybe, you know, like where they've cleaned up the bank here. And I don't know if that was that person or the state that came in there. I imagine it was the state. And put in that gravel pad there, and put riprap on the bank there so it didn't wash the riverbank out and wash the road out right here. So I'm going to say then, you know, from about, you know, they probably cleared up to the line here, I'm going to assume, you know, which we'll call it that post. But from here, you know, 475 foot down, you know, and whether you use this or you don't use this with the 50 acres, I think the taxes are like $20 a year or something. So it doesn't really cost you anything to keep it, but this is it.